Well, good morning, everyone. It is 6 a.m. on this Wednesday morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Channing Curtis.
And I'm Tim Pham. It's good to see you, friends. We are moving along through the week. Partly because Monday was Memorial Day, right? Well, hey, meteorologist Thomas Patrick is off today, so Brandon T. Jones is filling in, and he's doing an excellent job, isn't he?
Absolutely.
Brandon, you're tracking a little bit of a cooler, though, Wednesday.
Yeah, we're definitely going to have some cooler temperatures today. We saw the 70s and the kind of mid 70s on Monday and Tuesday. We're not going to be reaching that today. It's going to most likely be a high near 60 degrees. So cooler temperatures for you today with some scattered showers by this afternoon and a small chance of maybe some thunder here and there. All of that will eventually kind of push out by this evening. And then as you start to wake up with us tomorrow, we're going to be in line for a nice sunny and beautiful day. Currently looking at temperatures around 45 degrees with winds moving around 16 miles per hour. And then I want to take a quick look at some of those showers that will be rolling in by this afternoon and into your evening hours as well. But of course, we'll go ahead and take a full look at your forecast a little bit later into the show.
This morning, we're following up with claims Amazon enrolled millions of consumers into its paid Amazon Prime service without their consent. A federal judge in Seattle rejected Amazon's request to dismiss the Federal Trade Commission's lawsuit. The FTC also accuses the company of making it difficult to cancel the membership and knew that a percentage of consumers accidentally signed up for Prime. A trial is scheduled for February of next year.
Well, dozens of Oregon wineries and vineyards are now suing Pacificor for $100 million over the deadly 2020 wildfires. The suit says the utility company's decision to not turn off power during the windstorm fueled the fires that damaged their grapes, reducing their harvest and sales. In a statement, Pacificor says it is, quote, committed to settling all reasonable claims for damages as provided under Oregon law, end quote. Now, over the last year, other cases have gone to trial against Pacificor. Those verdicts ordered them to pay hundreds of millions of dollars to victims, and the ongoing litigation could leave the company on the hook for billions.
With summer just about here, it usually means cherry and peach season, but this year is off to a rough start for local growers.
So KREM 2's Cody Proctor brings us more this morning from Green Bluff.
For everything, there is a season, but for fans of Green Bluff peaches and cherries, this might not be the season.
Green Bluff farmer Derek Hansen knows a thing or two about cherries. He and his dad planted the first cherry tree at Hansen's Green Bluff orchard north of Spokane nearly 40 years ago.
It was probably a 3-foot whip. Most of them, when we get started, you know, they're 2-year-old trees. Take some cherries. It takes about 5 or 6 years to really get them producing. Yeah. Unlike this year.
The reason Hansen's laughing is because his cherry crop this year is lacking, to say the least.
Got probably enough cherries for the birds if we're lucky. And we didn't even have a single peach blossom on any of our trees. In fact, a lot of our trees actually died.
This year's been a tough season for his cherries and peaches, and he's not the only one on the bluff seeing it. So what's to blame? Hansen says the extreme drop in temperatures we experienced back in January did a number on his trees, with temperatures diving into the sub-zero realm.
Peaches, if we hit about 25 below zero, it'll just kill the tree dead. You know, they are not a winter hardy crop. And cherries are a tough tree. It's not going to kill them. However, they are very cold sensitive. And that's why we're right at the edge of cherry country, too.
Speaking of cherry country, elsewhere in the Northwest could see a better season this year compared to the last few years. According to the organization Northwest Cherry Growers in Yakima, they're forecasting the Pacific Northwest could yield somewhere between 17 million to 19 million 20-pound boxes for this year's crop of cherries. As for Hansen, he says they'll focus on their other crops to pick up the slack.
One of the best things about farming is there's always next year.
But taking a look ahead, not everything is a loss. Even though cherries and peaches are looking to have a tough time in the Green Bluff area, Hansen says his apples might actually come out okay this season. In Green Bluff, Cody Proctor, KREM 2 News.
In Idaho, closing arguments are set to begin today for Chad Daybell in a matter of hours. He's accused of murder and conspiracy in the deaths of his late wife, Tammy Daybell, and his current wife's 2 children, JJ and Tylee. Yesterday in court, the prosecution took over, calling a few rebuttal witnesses, including a detective who spoke on autopsy results. JJ's grandfather spoke outside of the courthouse on what a relief an end to all of this will be.
going to miss this beautiful town. But it's time to move on. It's time to move on to the next phase of our life.
JJ and Tylee's mom, Lori Vallow, was found guilty on the same charges last year.
It is 6:06 right now. Let's take a look at your morning rush. More news in less time. Spokane County deputies are charging a 17-year-old with vehicular assault. Deputies say that he and another driver collided in a neighborhood near North Kalispell and West Lyons on Monday. According to the Spokane County Sheriff's Office, both drivers were speeding when the crash happened. Deputies learned the car that the teen was driving actually belonged to someone else, who said that they didn't give him permission to drive it in the first place. The other driver was treated for minor injuries, and the teen was booked into the Spokane County Jail. Today, the Spokane Valley Fire Department is hosting a smoke alarm blitz. So this afternoon, they'll visit the mobile home community near North Barker and East Buckeye. Crews are offering to check existing smoke alarms, change batteries, and install free smoke alarms wherever needed. Last night, the Spokane Valley City Council voted to partner with Frontier Behavioral Health for homeless outreach services. So the city will now pay Frontier enough for 1 year of service, and that money will pay for 2 staff members and administrative purchases. Now, according to the contract, once someone gets housed, Frontier will also follow up with them for a year. And yesterday, the Spokane Indians walked off the field with a 10th inning win. They defeated the Everett Aqua Sox 8-7. The two teams will face off again tonight at 6:30. And that's a look at your morning rush.
This morning, jury deliberations are expected to start in former President Donald Trump's hush money trial.
Yesterday, it took hours for the defense and prosecutors to make their closing arguments. So this morning, CBS's Naomi Ruckham has more from New York.
Today, Judge Juan Merchan gives instructions to the jury, and then they'll begin deliberations in former President Donald Trump's Manhattan criminal trial.
We'll see how it goes.
Trump is charged with 34 felony counts of falsifying business records to reimburse ex-fixer and key prosecution witness Michael Cohen, who paid adult film star Stormy Daniels $130,000 to keep quiet about an alleged sexual encounter in the lead-up to the 2016 election, all of which Trump denies. In his 3-hour closing arguments, defense lawyer Todd Blanche attacked Cohen's credibility, calling him the GLOAT, greatest liar of all time.
The jurors, by closing arguments, really have a pretty good idea of how they feel about the case. They are looking strictly at what's the evidence, what do I need in order to do my job.
Prosecutor Joshua Steinglass argued that the case is about Trump, not Cohen. In his 5-hour closing, Steinglass pointed to the evidence his side presented, including other witnesses and documents. Outside the courthouse, actor Robert De Niro railed against Trump while representing the Biden-Harris campaign.
This is the time to stop him by voting him out once and for all.
Apparently he needs attention because it's been a while since he's cranked out a good movie.
Trump's children came to his defense and made a show of support inside the courtroom. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News, New York.
The jury cannot come to a unanimous decision. The case could end with a hung jury. Prosecutors could choose to retry the case if the jury does not come to a decision.
You know what my favorite thing about the morning time is? Just waking up this early. It has to be the birds. I don't know if you all can hear that, but it sounded like the American robin. Shout out to the American robin, and shout out to this beautiful sunrise over Lake Coeur d'Alene. It's a little bit chillier though as you step outside this morning. 45 degrees currently with winds moving about 16 miles per hour. You can see some of that wind in those waves right there on the lake. So yeah, it's a little bit chillier. And then I want to go ahead and take a look at your radar right here, because we're going to expect some afternoon and some evening showers as well. And sorry, actually, I don't think that was the American robin. That might have been a finch. I just saw one kind of fly up over here. But then I want to kind of go ahead and take a look at some of the surrounding temperatures as well. Lots of 40s on the map right now. We're going to be expecting a high near 60 or so maybe getting up about 15 degrees. But we'll have your full forecast within the next 10 minutes.